46 days left and it's Christmas. At ang ating legal unit po ay may regalo sa atin sa DepEd Mandaluyong City. Ito po ang Lex Consensya, Legal ang Illegal, a 3-day virtual engagement on the Division Program on Complaint Prevention. We are live via Zoom and YouTube. So maya-maya po ay mas makikita natin ng klaro kung ano ang link na gamit para sa ating YouTube Live para lahat po ng mga guro sa DepEd Mandaluyong City ay makapanood, magkaroon ng pagkakataon na mapanood at mabalikan ang ating 3-day virtual engagement on the Division Program on Complaint Prevention. And to start with, may I request everyone to join us in the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by a prayer, and then the NCR hymn and Marcha ng Mandaluyong.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw ay nasasinahanan, alam ng puso sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang binirang, kuyagan ang magiting, sa manduluping, di ka masisigil, sa gagatang tutok sa sili mo yan sa langit mo.
Sa bakyo dati o dati pero nung
Magawag ulit ang tumpay na nagkikinig, mapituwin ang karoon niya, kailan pa may magkikinig. Lumalang araw ng warhabit pagsika, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga aking, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ating isla sa buong Pilipinas ay siya ring napag-iwanan pagdating sa mga modernong infrastruktura. Kakulangan sa tawiran, lumang paliparan at usaping pangkapayapaan, ilan lamang yan sa mga problemang karaniwan na nating maririnig sa lupang nasanay na sa mga pangakong madalas mapako. Kaya naman laking pasasalamat ng marami nating kababayan ang pagkakaroon ng presidenteng namulat na sa ganitong mga problema. Marami ang nabuhay ng pag-asa na sa wakas ay matutulukan na rin ang lumalalang mga problema. Malapit na namang matapos ang taon at magtatapos na rin ang kasalukuyang administrasyon, halina't kumustahin natin ang mga naglalakiang proyektong naging prioridad na ng gobyerno para sa ating mga kababayan sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Mindanao. Ang proyekto kaya ito? Magkano kaya ang ginastos ng gobyerno dito? At ano ang may tutulong ng mga infrastrukturang ito sa pagbago at pagbabalik sila ng lupang nakilala na bilang the land of
فقال ربكم ادعوني استجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم اجمع شمل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمة في مدينة دبعو، وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the light of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Manama, mawantog ka. Warag po ko iling ko'y ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko. Busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko.
Bayang mahal nating lahat, tampok ng NCR. Pusod nitong ating bansa, dulot kaunlaran. Taas noon iwagayway ang bandilang NCR. Karunungan at katarungan sa bansa'y itanghal. Mga lungsod ng NCR sa puso ko'y dangan. Ang alhikay sulong ka, ang tanging NCR. NCR, NCR, dangal nitong bayan. NCR, NCR, dangal nitong bayan.
O Mandaluyong, giliw kong bayan, tungo sa kaunlaran. Ang iyong mithiin at pagsisikap, maganap ang iyong pangarap na matiwasay at maligaya, maunlad at maganda. Para sa'yo, Mandaluyong, lahat kami tulong-tulong. Nagiting at kapurihan naming mamamayan, iba't ibang larangan, dulot karangalan. Sa Mandaluyong aming bayan, ang iyong makulay na kasaysayan, dangal at kagitingan. Kaunlaran sana'y manatili, sa tuwin ay aming mithi. O Mandaluyong, ang iyong tagumpay, luwalhati sa buhay. Para sa'yo, Mandaluyong, lahat kami tulong-tulong. Nagiting at kapurihan naming mamamayan, iba't ibang larangan, dulot karangalan. Sa Mandaluyong aming bayan, ang iyong makulay na kasaysayan, dangal at kagitingan. Kaunlaran sana'y manatili, sa tuwin ay aming mithi. O Mandaluyong, ang iyong tagumpay, luwalhati sa buhay. Para sa'yo, Mandaluyong, lahat kami tulong-tulong.
Okay, naka-unmute pala ako. Ayan, so again, this is SDO Mandaluyong and ICT units Lex Consensya Legal. Ang
namin kaya, nahulaan ko po na dapat
Legal. A 3-day virtual engagement on the division program on ina-unmute ba ako? May nag-unmute sa akin. Ayan. So, manatili rin po na naka-mute ang inyong mga mikropono habang ongoing ang ating programa, at maaari kayong mag-unmute ng inyong mga mikropono pagdating po sa question and answer para po sa ating open forum. So yun po, no, para hindi natin maabala ang mga magsasalita sa ating sesyon ngayong umaga. Ayan, so sa ating OIC Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romela M. Cruz, OIC Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Aurelio G. Alfonso, Chief Education Supervisor for School Governance and Operations Division, Mrs. Emma G. Arubio, Curriculum Implementation Division Chief Education Supervisor Dr. Aline G. Mendoza, our Administrative Officer 5, Mr. Mark Sherwin G. Magsumbol, to the unit heads of the under the Office of the Schools Division Superintendent, officials of the CID and SGOD, non-teaching personnel, school heads of the public elementary and secondary schools of DepEd Mandaluyong City, to the members of the FIC and with the school technical working team, teachers. Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Lex Consensya, legal ang illegal. This is a 3-day virtual engagement on the division program on complaint prevention. At gayon din po, ngayong araw, bukod sa mga talk na ibibigay po sa atin ay meron din tayong virtual launch ng ating video explainer na inihanda ng legal unit tungkol sa legal ang illegal. Sa bayan po tayong napapanood sa ating Zoom link ngayon, at sa ngayong araw na ito ay napapanood din tayo sa YouTube channel YouTube channel na I Am Coach Max Salazar. Hanapin niyo lamang po, i-type niyo lamang ang SDO City of Mandaluyong. Ito po ay para sa mga kasamahan natin na mga guro na hindi makakasama sa ating Zoom link ngayong araw na ito. So i-share niyo lamang po ng i-share, bagamat meron ongoing ngayon ang synchronous classes, maaari tayong maging background nila sa kanilang pagtuturo ngayong umagang ito. Maraming salamat po. And to give his opening remarks, the Administrative Officer 5, Mr. Mark Sherwin G. Magsumbol.
Morning, Sir Anto. Okay na ba? Kita na ba? Thank you very much. Nakita ko si Coach Max eh. Hi, Coach Max. Gandang umaga po. Anyway, before I begin to deliver my opening remarks, allow me to greet first our OIC Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Mela M. Cruz, our OIC Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Aurelio G. Alfonso, to the two chiefs, the chief from the Curriculum and Implementation Division, Dr. Aline G. Mendoza, and also to the chief of School Governance and Operation Division, Ma'am Emma G. Arubio, to all the SDO Mandaluyong community, to all my brothers and sisters in public service, sa lahat po ng nanonood, sa magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. You know what, I'm very much honored that I was asked to deliver the opening message. One is that I know for the fact that this is a product of hard labor and dedication of Attorney Aberin. Second, the lady from the legal unit is a revolutionary in terms of cultivating our knowledge on legal issues. And it's my privilege to take part on this. Third, I noticed of all the programs that she conducted, marami na siyang programang ginawa. But this one, she expresses so much pride. To be honest, I don't know what is in store for us, but I'm very much excited po. No? Anyway, I remember si Thomas Jefferson on the principle of public service. Sabi niya, when a person daw has yung public trust, he should consider himself as a public property. This is where the this is the principles of public office of public trust originated, ladies and gentlemen. No? If we all agree on this premise, maybe it's safe to say that we are all public property. Thus, our words, yung promises natin, our commitments is very crucial in maintaining a rapport with our client. And falling short of our commitments, of our mga promises, means unsatisfied client, which also results to misunderstanding, then later on, blown out of proportion, magiging complaint na siya. No? I'll try to give you an example po. Normally, alam nyo, I do order sa mga fast food ko through drive-thru. And I always order yung cheeseburger meal na walang dressing. But sometimes yung service crew tends to forget yung mga binibilin ko sa food ko, no? And that disappoints me, especially kung drive-thru. Kasi you have to go back to the restaurant para palitan yan. Every time na nangyayari yon, I make sure to talk to the supervisor to address yung mga concerns ko, no? Obviously, it was not the intention of the service crew na bigyan ako ng maling product, no? Or hindi nasunod yung gusto ko. But um, probably because of yung load ng trabaho, now overlook yun, no? Another thing, for example, I know some of you, sometimes you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, no? Pangit ng mood, no? Papasok sa office, no? I'm going to go back doon sa pag-order ko, no? Sabi ko nga, I always order cheeseburger meal without dressing. And then sometimes yung service crew will ask me, "Sir, plain? No mayo, no ketchup, no cheese." Eh, di ba parang nakakatawa kasi you order the cheeseburger pero walang cheese. Tinatanong nila. But of course, it's a slip of the tongue, no? But because of yung medyo unconscious siya sa mga sinasabi niya, medyo, alam niyo, medyo
Pogi naman ito. Bibigtad
medyo
ako
yung
na naman ako.
the mood that creates the mood that it creates ay medyo hindi maganda, especially kung ikaw ay agitated at gutom ka na, no? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, needless to say, okay, it is inevitable that conflict may occur in our workplace. Kung nangyayari nga siya sa isang simpleng lugar, no? Though it is not our intention, no, na magkaroon ng conflict, but because we are in a government sector and we are a service-oriented organization, alam nyo, yung people, our clients is expecting so much from us that we should always be aware and cautious sa mga words that we utter, no? In 20 years po in public service po, I witnessed teachers, non-teaching personnel, school heads being complained about. And it was a unpleasant scenario na every time may makikita ka na nare-reklamo. Kasi umupo ako sa secretary sa legal unit noon sa ibang division. No? Now, the question now is, bakit ba natin kailangan itong seminar nito? Because we believe that prevention is better than cure. So how? Let us manage our risk by controlling our emotions and opening the line of communication. Then again, how? I'll ask na lang si Attorney Aberin kasi that is the seminar is all about. Itong seminar nito ay sasagot sa mga katanungan natin kung paano natin makokontrol yung risk, paano natin ma-manage yung ating mga emotions. No? So without much ado, to all my brothers and sisters in government service, together, let us all watch and internalize the program prepared by Attorney Aberin. Magandang umaga po sa lahat at we do hope na mag-enjoy kayo. Attorney Aberin, congratulations sa iyong programa at mamaya mag-uusap tayo, magkakwentuhan tayo. So magandang umaga po sa lahat. Maraming salamat, Sir Anto.
Ayan, gamitin ko lang po yung aksidenteng na-unmute na microphone kanina. Hindi ko po alam kung para sa inyo yon o naligaw lang po yon. Sabi, ang pogi naman netong nagsasalita.
Baka sa iyo yun, sir.
Hindi,
baka sa iyo.
Naka-off cam po ako noon kanina. Ikaw po yung nagsasalita. Hindi ko po alam.
Salamat po.
Thank you so much.
Po, ingat po.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mark Sherwin G. Magsumbol, our Administrative Officer 5. Ang dami po niyang naidaldal this morning dahil I believe siya po ay ano ba yung course sa dali lang? Ang kanyang political science kasi ang kanyang course. And nabanggit niya kanina yung special order every time sa fast food chain. Nangyayari yun, no? Yung kapag nagkamali, ganun yung request mo, pero pagdating sa'yo, hindi naman natupad, ang tendency, we will be addressing the issue. And ayan, so ngayon po ay marami pa rin tayong kasama ngayon dito sa ating Zoom link. Ang ating target ngayon po ay mabigyan ng kaalaman at mabigyan ng idea ang ating mga kasamang guro, ang ating mga school heads, ang ating mga non-teaching personnel at ang ating SDO officials ng idea po kung paano ba maiiwasan at kung paano ba mababawasan ang mga complaints sa ating mga nangyayari po sa ating paligid. Kaya naman po, again, we are encouraging our dear school heads to share the YouTube link to our teachers and non-teaching personnel para po mas marami pong nanonood, mas marami tayong makakasama, mas maraming makakaalam at makauunawa. Maraming salamat po. And to give her greetings or to greet us all, our Chief Education Supervisor for Curriculum Implementation Division, Dr. Aline G. Mendoza.
Hello, good morning. Oo, alam ko na kung sinong pogi, so dalawa. Oo. Ang ating napaka-favorite nating MC, Sir Anthony, of course, sa ating AO, equally handsome people in our SDO. Of course, unahin kong batiin ang ating leader na napaka-dynamic at progresibong leader sa SDO Mandaluyong, headed by our Officer in Charge Office of the Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Romela M. Cruz. Of course, sa ating Assistant Schools Division Superintendent OIC, Dr. Aurelia Alfonso. Sa ating SGOD Chief, Ma'am Emma G. Arubio. Of course, sa lahat ng mga officials and personnel ng CID and SGOD, sa lahat ng non-teaching personnel, mga support personnel ng SDO Mandaluyong, sa ating mga school heads, sa ating mga kasama natin dito ang ating FIC na komite sa SDO. Of course, to our proponent, ang ating napaka-smart and progresibong Attorney 3, Attorney Aberin. Of course, sa ating favorite na life coach, mamaya excited po ako makinig sa kanya, Coach Max Salazar. Happy to hear you again and be part of our learning this morning. Sa lahat ng kasama sa webinar, at their background, good morning and happy day to everyone. So bakit sinabi ko happy? So dapat maging happy lang talaga kasi sa dami ng pwedeng mangyari sa ating mga buhay within our workplace and even in those in the working at home, talaga create ito ng stress and eventually lead to more serious consequences, and that we want that to happen to our people in SDO Mandaluyong. Let's be happy. Sabi ni Robin, sabi niya, I'm a learning machine and this is a place to learn. So today there will be new learning again, initiated by our attorney, Aberin. We would like to thank her for this initiative, for nag-research pa ko, attorney ha, kung ano ibig sabihin ng lex conscientia. So for us, this is some kind of an innovation strategy that to provide our people with a fast, reliable, and realistically priced strategy and to manage and to support services, lalo na pagdating sa legal. This is something welcome opportunity for us to learn new things na tried by our attorney, for us to be more kumbaga happy working in a workplace. Bakit nga pala may mga ganitong mga prevention na ginagawa si attorney? Kanina sabi ng ating AO, prevention is better than cure, and I believe in that saying. Now we have to prevent. But then if we cannot really
Ma'am Aline, na-unmute ka po. Na-unmute ka, ma'am.
Asa na ako banda, sir?
Okay na po ulit. Ayan.
Okay. May ganon. Sige. So bakit tayo magkakaroon ng prevention? Dahil there are circumstances na hindi natin ma-avoid sa workplace. Like yung mga dissatisfaction na nararamdaman natin sa workplace, and maybe sometimes yung mga unacceptable situation that will lead to the personal complaint on some things na hindi natin may iwasan yon. But then, in our division, so confident naman ang ating leadership here is trying to parang bank to this kind of intervention, yung mga prevention. So mamaya, we will be giving some kind of awareness na some other options na wag maging full-blown na case if there are complaints in the workplace. So kumbaga kung kaya naman pag-usapan, pag-usapan. Kung kaya naman mapagbigyan, magbigay ng sariling kumbaga understanding, be more understanding and compassionate to our co-workers. That could be a very, very basic values that we have to hold on. Kasi kung gusto natin maging masaya lang tayo sa ating workplace. So added to this training, yung ating coach, that could be a very good investment for all of us. So let's listen to Sir Max, na napakagaling na speaker, and I learned a lot from him the last time that we have our engagement. So with this kind of prevention strategies invested by our division office, I know SDO Mandaluyong will have a more harmonious place to work with people and to work for our people. So thank you for this opportunity, Ma'am Romela, of course, headed by our attorney and supported by our IT, Sir JD, the technical side behind this project. Of course, yung isa dyan na ating NC sa mga video explainer na ginagawa. So thank you to these people who've been working so hard to create such kind of prevention things so that our people will be off to this kind of human, mga unnecessary, stressful event in our life, lalo na sa mga nagtatrabaho lang naman sa gobyerno. So thank you for this opportunity. Let's be a learning machine and let's learn more today for this opportunity for us to be more productive in our SDO Mandaluyong. Thank you and good day, everyone. Happy day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aline G. Mendoza, our Chief Education Supervisor for Curriculum Implementation Division. Thank you so much po. So once again, i-remind lang po natin, hindi tayo masyadong gamay sa Zoom. Pati ako nagugulat, bigla akong na-mute. Dahil nga may mga aksidenteng nakakapag-unmute ng kanilang mga mikropono at nakakapag-create po ng konting ingay, ng konting kalituhan habang po may nagsasalita, kaya po nami-mute all. So huli po ang pakiusap natin ay manatili pong naka-mute ang inyong mga mikropono para po dire-diretso ang ating programa. And at the same time, you will be given the chance to unmute your microphone kapag sa ating open forum po. Ayan, maraming pong salamat. And ang susunod po nating tagapagsalita ay she is an advocate of awareness and knowledge. Ang gusto niya, lahat ng miyembro ng DepEd Mandaluyong City ay alam ang maraming bagay at aware sa mga dapat gawin. And she encouraged our legal unit to come up with a very good program and material for information, dissemination, and promote awareness on legal issues. None other than our dear OIC Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romela M. Cruz, for her message. Ayan, Ma'am Romela. Naka-unmute po kayo. Ay, naka-mute po kayo.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, Sir Anthony. At sobra akong masaya ngayon dahil ilan ang participants natin, Anto?
Ma'am, dito po sa Zoom ay nasa 63 and ang ating YouTube live po ay nag-i-increase na po ang viewers po. Kaya po patuloy po natin hinikayat ang ating mga school heads at ang mga kasamahang guro nandito na patuloy na i-share ang YouTube link para po mas marami pong makapanood ng programang ito.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Anthony. For every project, program, or activity that we initiate in the division office, let us bear in our minds that it is an authentic manifestation, the depth and breadth of our love to all of you. Because we do believe that everyone must be a lover of learning, and learning must be a lifetime commitment. Whenever we learn or discover something new, that will guide us to discover the best route in order to reach the road to excellence, no? Our journey to road to excellence, and I'm very happy to have you. That's why we do appreciate the presence of our best resource speaker, our friend, Sir Max Salazar. Thank you very much po, sir, for accepting our invitation. Marami pong salamat. We miss you, especially when we see you in a venue, kahit outdoor o indoor o kahit sa man lugar na may session na tayo ay tatawa. We talk, we laugh together, we exchange chats, inputs, everything. We miss everything about you. So we would like to see
Thank
you
you, ma'am.
in
Thank you po.
more activities in the future, and we are very happy that the entire NCR now is declared na nasa level 2, at malay nyo sa December o sa months ahead ay mas mawala na at maging alert level 1 at totally COVID free na tayo. Salamat, sir, ha. Ito ay
Salamat po.
opening pa lang. May mga susunod pa kaming mga programa. Okay po? At ako naman po sa aking mga tao, wherever I am, ano man po, ilan man ang gadget na hawak ko sa ngayong oras na to. Kung may 3 kong gadgets, whatever, basta need ako ng division, sila ang aking priority at ako ay darating. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, sa ating ASDS, Dr. Ruel, sa ating dalawang chief, Ma'am Emma Rubio, Ma'am Ellen G. Mendoza, attorney, at kay attorney, kay Sir Sherwin, kay JD, kay Crisel, kay Cecil, yung aming 5 unit heads. At sa aming 4 na section heads, si Menchi, si Art, si Marlene, at saka si Ann. At sa lahat ng CID at SGOD officials na darito, ang aming mga nagiging FIC members, ayan. Yung aming FIC chair, ayan. At yung iba po pang kasama natin, at kung mas maganda kung may mga darating pa ritong ibang officials, public servants, na makakasama natin dito. Kaya ang aking pong 2 division chiefs, Ma'am Emma, Ma'am Alin, yung 5 unit heads, yung 4 na section heads, mag-encourage na kayo. Maghanap na kayo ng mga taong a-attend dito na makakatulong sa atin, makaka-avoid ng conflict, yung bang may malaking papel na gagampanan. At marami tayong madidiscover pagdating dito at napakinggan natin si Prof. Max Salazar. Ayan. Kadi po ba, gusto natin magka-wisdom? Kaya sakto, narito na si Sir Salazar. Thank you, Ma'am Attorney Abirin, nakasama mo sa programa si Sir Sherwin at yung iba pang mga unit heads, at yung iba pang mga members ng CID na narito kasama mo. Tulad ng si Antu, kahit may sakit siya, nag-MC siya, at nakakatuwa naman na lahat kayo ay halos naririto. At mamaya ay madadagdagan pa. At sa inyong pakikinig sa araw na ito, palagi niyong tatandaan, ang lahat ng inyong maririnig ay maaaring nasa PowerPoint, maaaring nasa papel. Ano ngayon ang iyong pangahawakan? Nang mapapakinggan mo, ay madadala mo sa iyong pagkatao at magkakaroon ng transformation. Mula sa pwedeng maging larva, pupa, pwede kang maging good butterfly. Depende sa metamorphosis na hinahawakan mo sa buhay mo. Kaya sa inyong lahat, pagkatapos ng mga araw na kayo ay maka-attend dito, magkaroon kayo ng pagninilay. Saan ko gagamitin ang lahat ng aking maririnig? Ano-ano ang magiging action ko in the future na magiging ebidensya na ang napakinggan ko ngayon ay nagkaroon ng impact. Subalit, ang lahat ng ito ay sisimulan mo sa iyong sarili. Are you in conflict? Kung ikaw mismo ay may conflict sa sarili mo, paano ka makakapag-contribute sa settlement ng conflict sa isang organization? So sa inyong lahat, pilitin natin, intindihin natin, i-focus natin, ano kaya itong illegal ang legal? At paano natin ito gagamitin sa tunay na buhay? At sa lahat po ng mga opisyal ng DO na naririto, maraming pong salamat sa ating sama-samang paglalakbay. May God bless us. Again, thank you, Sir Salazar. Congratulations, Attorney with Cherwin and other SDO official. Yes, mabuhay and good morning. Pagaling ka, Anto!
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Romela M. Cruz, our OIC Schools Division Superintendent, for inspiring our participants here in Lex Conscientia, Legal ang Illegal, a 3-day virtual engagement on the Division Program on Complaint Management. At ang dami na pong sinabi ni Sir Sherwin, ni Ma'am Aline at ni Ma'am Romela. At this point of time ay panoorin po natin, ibibigay ko sa inyo ang overall chair ng gawain ito para ipakilala ang ating video explainer, Legal ang Illegal. Attorney Doreen Bernice Abirin.
Hello everyone. Okay, nasisina ba ako? Maria Bernice Doreen M. Abirin, Sir Anto.
Nandiyan ka naman para i-correct yun. Sinulok ko sa para matandaan mo na, ito pala yung sinasabi.
Yes, okay. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga na-invite natin na dumalo ngayon dito sa ating programa. No? Tama yung mga sinabi ng mga nag-introduction sa mga key officials ng Mandaluyong. This is really something that I am passionate about because we are focusing on complaints prevention. The only struggle that we are encountering now is, syempre, ang pinakamalaking struggle natin ay ang pandemic. So since, di ba, alam naman natin na itong pandemic na to, isa sa mga rason kung bakit hindi tayo makapag face-to-face. Kahit sa mga classes, hindi tayo makapag face-to-face. So what more, no, yung hirap to reach out to the public, to our stakeholders, para ma-roll out natin itong ating programa of complaints prevention. But luckily, we were able to somehow start up last year with our prevention program dahil na-invite naman po ang inyong lingkod sa mga speakership activities with other schools. And in that way, naipapakalat natin yung kaalaman natin sa mga alternative dispute resolution. So, to give you a heads up of how the legal unit will roll out this to the public, Jerwin, you can play the video presenter. Please watch this po. Thank you.
All rights reserved to the owners and creators of the music, sounds, and video clips used in this presentation. No copyright infringement is intended. This is for academic discussion and information dissemination purposes only.
For years, the division of Mandaluyong City is clogged with volumes of police cases. Upon careful scrutiny and comparative assessments of the nature of these cases, it was revealed that some cases arose from disputes, with the exception, of course, of child abuse cases. But such disputes are most often than not brought about by misunderstanding and misapprehensions of facts, which could have been resolved at the lowest level possible, alternative dispute resolution. Over the years, the legal unit handles this matter by continuously conducting seminars to roll out awareness of the pertinent debit orders in administrative cases, code of professional responsibility for public employees, and other laws. with the initiative of the Department of Education National Capital Region Legal Unit in 2018, mediators posting of legal officers, supervisors, schools division superintendents, and assistant schools division superintendents, all 16 divisions were trained to handle actual disputes through values-based mediation and had it accredited and recognized by the DepEd Central Office. In pursuant thereof, last year, the Schools Division of Mandaluyong City, through the legal unit, officially established the mediation in our division. While these milestones were keys in the spreading awareness and promote alternative dispute resolution, nevertheless, the same are not sufficient enough to reach as many as those actual numbers of stakeholders in Mandaluyong City. Let alone convince internal stakeholders to take advantage of these modes of alternative dispute resolution. When pandemic hit in 2020, the struggle to reach out to the field became undeniably difficult. Fortunately, with the support of the top management and the ICT unit, the schools division pioneered a system to which stakeholders may book an appointment with the respective offices of the division for technical assistance, consultation, and other services whenever, wherever the clients are. It is fortunate that the legal unit is one of the offices who can take advantage of this platform. Through the e-legal system, our campaign in advocacy and complaints prevention can be easily rolled out to the field. Pertinent knowledge as to the laws and procedures in handling administrative cases may be easily communicated to the field. As the old adage says, the first step towards change is awareness. Dahil sa legal ang illegal, iba ang may alam.
No part of this presentation may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form or by any means, including recording or any other electronic or mechanical methods, without prior written permission to the creator, except in the case of brief quotation embodied in reviews and certain other non-commercial uses permitted by copyright law.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney. Ito po ay unang video pa lamang, right? We still have the video explainer.
Yes, Sir Anto. This would be the introduction pa lang. Tomorrow will be the video explainer for the grievance.
Ayan. Okay, so production pala talaga. Ayan, so congratulations to the technical working team of the video explainer. So mas makikilala natin kung sino-sino ang mga tao sa likod ng video explainer ng legal unit for SDO Mandaluyong City tomorrow. Ayan. Moving on, kapag nagsalita po ang taong ito sa harap, ay agad niyang nakukuha ang atensyon ng kanyang audience. He knows how to touch one's heart. And at the same time, tinutulungan niya magproseso ang ating isipan para sa mas maayos na emosyon at action. Our speaker this morning is born to the late Romeo Salazar and Virginia Salcedo, ikababayan at taga-Pangasinan din si Sir. He experienced life and business coach with a demonstrated history of working in the management consulting industry. Skilled in coaching, sales, public speaking, management leadership, and strategic planning. Strong business development professional with the Strategic Business Economics Program Certificate from the University of Asia and the Pacific. He has done numerous leadership and organizational development programs in Canada, USA, and Asia Pacific. He was, he is an assistant vice to Builders Incorporated, president and CEO of Livestock International Incorporated, Supreme Council member, Order of the Knights of Rizal from 2016 to 2018, Supreme Council member, Order of the Knights of Rizal from 2014 to 2016. He was a senior consultant of the Organizational Change Consultants International Incorporated from 2003 to 2009. A training consultant for Rizal Youth Leadership Institute Conference. General Manager for 9 Dots Management Consultancy from 2000 to 2003. Message me po, attorney, don't call me. Okay, ano ba to? Dali lang. Okay, sige. Na-excite ako kasi ang tagal na-miss ko siya dahil huli ko siyang napanood at napakinggan about 2 years ago. Nangungulit po si attorney dahil meron pa pala isang gawain bago siya. Sige. Sana tinandaan niyo na yung mga una kong pagpapakilala sa kanya. And now, to demonstrate, to show us on how to avail of the online legal services of the legal unit of the Schools Division Office, our Information Technology Officer, Mr. John Daryl S. Mercado. Ayan, nariyan na ba ang Sir JD?
Hi, Sir Anthony.
Oo.
So, magandang umaga sa'yo. Akala ko mga 2 p.m. na ako. And so, thank you, Sir Anthony. Sa ating pong Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Romela M. Cruz, sa ating pong Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Aurelio G. Alfonso, CID Chief, Dr. Aline G. Mendoza, SGOD Chief Ma'am Emma Rubio, sa mga kapwa ko unit and section heads, sa ating pong mga school heads especially, at ang mga teachers po na nasa loob ng ating Zoom, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. At gusto ko lang pong bigyan ng pasasalamat ang ating Attorney 3, Maria Bernice Doreen M. Aberin, para sa pagkakataon na makapag-share sa inyo ngayong umaga. So, higit 1 taon na po ang nakaraan ng ating pong nilaunch ang iba't ibang online services ng Schools Division Office of Mandaluyong City. At para po sa kaalaman ng lahat, as of Monday, yesterday po, ng ating pong bilangin lahat po ng mga online service, nag-avail ng online services natin from the past year ay higit 200 na po na clients ang nakapag-avail ng mga online services po natin. Ibig sabihin po, ito pong mga tao na to ay naka-avail ng online services, ay hindi na po nangailangan pang bumiyahe, hindi na po nangailangan pang i-risk ang kanilang mga sarili para pumunta physically sa division office para mag-request ng mga document, magbayad ng mga fees, dahil lahat po ay nagawa nila online. Ayan po. So, isang malaki ding pasasalamat po sa ating pong mga school heads na naging patronage po ng ating pong online services at yung kanila pong pag-share sa kanilang mga teachers na meron po tayong mga ganitong online services sa SDO Mandaluyong. So thank you very much po. Ayan. Ngayon po, my focus will be on the legal services, no? The online appointment with the legal services. As mentioned by Attorney Maria Bernice Averin, nagkaroon po siya ng mga virtual clients sa pamamagitan po ng online appointment system na introduce po natin sa ating pong mga clients. So, I would like to present my screen. Ayan. So, I would like to request our host to please allow me to share my screen. Ayan. Okay, thank you very much, sir. All right. So the first step po, if gusto niyo pong magkaroon ng appointment with our attorney, virtual appointment po with our attorney, the first thing that you have to do is to go to our website, which is www.depedmandaluyong.org. And then click online services on the top menu. And kapag na-click nyo na po yung online services, you just have to click the legal service link na makita nyo with the category of book appointment. Then, there will be a new tab that will be opened at ang kailangan nyo pong i-click na provider ay ang ating attorney, which is Attorney Maria Bernice Dorin M. Averin. Ayan, kailangan importante po lagi kumpleto ang pagtawag nyo sa kanya ng pangalan. Ayan, so fifth po is to choose your preferred time of your appointment. Ayan, so pag namili po kayo ng time, meron po itong 24 hours lead time. Halimbawa po, kung ngayon ay 10:16 a.m. in the morning, hindi nyo po siya pwedeng mabook mamayang 11 o mamayang hapon, okay, o bukas ng 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Kasi naniniwala tayo, of course, we respect the time of our officials, and baka po meron na po silang mga na set na appointment this afternoon or early in the morning tomorrow. Kaya po nilagyan po natin ng 24 hours lead time. So kung ngayon po ay 10:17, mabubook nyo po si attorney the earliest time 10:30 tomorrow. Okay po, so yun po yung ating 24 hours lead time na tinatawag. So you can book attorney every weekdays po from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ayan. So once that you have chosen the time, the date and time of the appointment, you must input your contact information, your name, your phone number, your email, if you have any comments, which are optional, and the reason for the appointment. So you are free to choose, or you are free to input the reason why you want to book an appointment with our legal officer. No? So it can be an inquiry, a consultation, or maybe a complaint. No? Pwede po dyan sa ating appointment system. Once na nag-input po kayo ng inyong information, your appointment with our legal officer is now booked, and you will be receiving an email, no, of your appointment link. So you must check your email para po ma-click nyo po yung join your meeting, no, yung meeting link po natin. So now I will be demonstrating to you the process or the live, no, the live system po ng ating demonstration. So again, we need to go to the website of DepEd Mandaluyong. So once na nandito tayo, let's click online services. All right. So kapag lumabas ng online services, scroll down ng konti. By the way, marami tayo ditong mga online services na nakaset up na. Okay, and not just yung legal service ang may ganitong appointment system, meron din si AO5, meron din po ako, meron din ang ating HR, at meron din ang ating accounting. Even ang ating records ay meron din. Now, since ang focus natin for today ay ating legal service, we have legal service. Then may ma-open po na another tab where you can book an appointment with our attorney. Ayan, so if you are attending your virtual meeting via your smartphone or tablet, you must download the teleport.video app on the App Store prior to your scheduled meeting. So meron po tayong instruction na kung ang ating pong client ay bubook via mobile phone, kailangan po nilang mag-download ng teleport.video application. Then click OK. Then again, just click Attorney Maria Bernice Doreen M. Aberin. Okay, as I have mentioned, since ngayon ay 10:20 na in the morning, the earliest possible time that you can book attorney is tomorrow, November 10, 10:30 a.m. So ibubook natin siya tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. We must input our information. So GD Mercado, 995-123-4567. Then jd.mercado@depedmandaluyong.org. Comments are optional. Reason is legal inquiry. I will agree to the cancellation policy, and yes, send me an email reminder. So dapat po ma-check po siya. Then click book. And as you can see, in just less than a minute, you are able to book an appointment with our attorney. Ayun po, in a systematic manner po and professional way. Now, I will be clicking my email or opening my email, and as you can see, a video meeting book was sent to me. Then tomorrow at 10:30, I just have to open this email again. Click natin yung join your meeting. Ayan, so pakita ko lang sa inyo yung inyong interface yung interface ng teleport.video. So para lang din siyang Google Meet, Zoom, and other applications. Ayan, allow natin ang video. Okay. So you just have to click yung name and start the meeting. And then antayin mo na lang si attorney na pumasok ng ayan, buksan natin yung camera. Okay? Antayin lang natin si attorney pumasok by 10:30 tomorrow. Parang ganun. Okay? So hindi pa siya papasok now. There will be a live demonstration naman nito, I think on third day. So yun po ang proseso ng ating appointment system. And I think attorney, allowed ba ako to answer questions or hindi pa muna?
Hello, JD. With regards to the booking sa technicalities, pwede.
Okay, all right.
Pero
Okay.
dun, if nagtatanong na about the cases, let's reserve that on the third day during the simulation.
All right. Okay. Ayan. So thank you so much. Now, if we have any questions regarding the technicalities, I'll be happy to answer. I'll be happy to answer it via, pwede nyo pong i-chat. But technically po, yun yung ating requirements, no? Requirements po sa pagbubook ng ating pong legal services para po magkaroon po kayo ng online engagement or consultation or inquiry sa ating attorney. Ayan. So kung wala na po kayong questions, or just in case you have questions, you can send a personal message to me or send me an email. Ayan. So if you don't have any questions right now, okay lang po. But again, in behalf of the ICT unit, we would like to thank everyone, to thank everyone for the opportunity to share this service that we are continually providing to our stakeholders. Thank you very much po at magandang umaga.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, Sir John Darrell S. Mercado, our Information Technology Officer. Susubukan ko rin maging malumanay sa pagsasalita dahil napakamalumanay po ng kanyang pag-discuss. And again, this the online demo on how to book legal services for sasabihin ko sana doctor, with attorney Maria Bernice Durin Aberin, ay ipinakita po part of the legal ang illegal. And I believe that the legal unit will be producing another video explainer para sa step-by-step na pagpo-process ng legal services via online sa ating DepEd website. So thank you so much, Sir John Darrell S. Mercado, our Information Technology Officer. Give me the opportunity to mention some of the names that we have in the link this morning. Siyempre, ang ating coach ay nandito, ang ating Attorney Abirin, si Sir Jerwin, isa sa mga technical working team, Sir John Darrell, Ma'am Aline. Nakita ko si Ma'am Emma nandito na rin po despite of the busy schedule of SGOD dahil nasa field yata sila ngayon, ay kasama na rin natin sila ngayon sa online, sa ating Zoom link ngayon. Nakita ko pong nag-comment dito si Sir Roderick Menjola from City of Mandaluyong Science High School. Nakita ko rin po si Dr. Corazon Arihino ng Josefa Bella Memorial School, si Sir Calixto Kamangig ng ating Division Library. Okay, Mr. Chris Mexica ng SGOD, narito na rin po. Okay, Ms. Dorothy Grace Reyes, Sir Edgar Belmonte, Mrs. Elizabeth Catibog of Renato Lopez Elementary School, Dr. Elizabeth O. Gloriana, Dr. Ginalyn Mendoza, Mr. Henry A. Sabidong na mataas na paralang Neptel A. Gonzalez. Narito din si Sir Jack Chris Garol, Dr. Jet Galicano, Ms. Jocelyn S. Balane, Mr. Joseph B. Alegre ng Ilaya Barangay Integrated School, Ms. Josephine C. Emperado ng 9 de Febrero Elementary School, Ms. Jovi Di Balbuena, Ms. Lorraine Kebuyen. Narito rin ang ating division cashier, Ms. Marlene Marcelo, Mr. Kevin Haber ng SGOD, Mrs. Maria Venancia P. Causon ng Doña Pilar C. Gonzaga Elementary School, Dr. Maria Victoria Bernaldez, Mr. Mark Sherwin G. Magsombol, konti na lang po ito, Mrs. Viva Di Carion ng Amado T. Reyes Elementary School, Mr. Ramilo P. Pascual ng Filimon P. Javier Elementary School, Mr. Restituto I. Rodelas, Mr. Ricky Soriano ng SGOD. Siyempre, ang ating Ma'am Romela ay narito po. Ms. Roxanne S. Villanueva, Dr. Ruby Ibaniked, Mr. Werlito C. Batinga. Ayan. So sila po yung mga nakita ko sa aking Zoom link. Sana may nakita rin kayong iba pa. So please mention, paki-mention na lang po sa atin para po mabasa natin mamaya. Ayan. So I know wala na makakapigil sa akin para tuluyang ipakilala ang ating coach ngayong araw na ito. Ayan. So kanina ay sinabi natin na naging general manager siya ng 9 Dots Management Consultancy from 2000 to 2003. Hindi lang po yun. Naging general manager din siya ng Patria's Restaurant from 1998 to 2000. And then he was also an assistant F&B manager of Mimosa Golf and Country Club and a training manager of IFFSI from 1993 to 1995. He provides consulting services on life and business coach, management and leadership consultancy, sales, transformational seminars, international facilitator for youth workshops. Mga kasama, mga ka-DepEd, Mandaluyong, ang ating coach this morning to discuss on stress hacks for better work-life living. Ang paborito nating coach, Coach Max Salazar or Maximo Salvador S. Salazar. A virtual clap for Coach Max.
Thank you. I appreciate Sir Anthony for giving all of those introduction. I highly appreciate it. Can I get a thumbs up if you're hearing me well?
I just want to make sure with the sound check, I'm okay. Can somebody give me a thumbs up? There you go. There you go. Maraming salamat. I really honor. I love the group and the opportunity to support the Mandaluyong especially. I'm also from Mandaluyong. My kids, I have 2 kids graduate. Yung isa na ng Mansay, yung isa grade 12, no? And every time I'm given the opportunity to share with you here, it's always a yes for me. No, it's always a yes for me. And to think that today is all about complaints, no, and complaints prevention. And I was listening kanina. Sabi ko, ano bang gagawin ko dito in terms of complaints? And I said, and the topic was stress, no, and how to create a better work and living experience. Well, top of mind agad, when you talk about complaints prevention, ang complaint po ay maganda. Naulitin ko yun, the complaints are good because it shows, it reminds us that people care enough to tell us to improve. Now, I want to put that immediately dito sa ating Zoom experience because a lot of people are fearful of complaints. No, and that being said, when you talk about prevention, wag po tayong matakot sa complaint because they're actually telling us, hey, please improve kung meron man. And that's a great opportunity because yung iba, rather than complain, they just leave. And so, coming from that jump off point, I will be talking about something very interesting kasi po, ang topic na yan na i-assign sa akin is all about hacks, no? And when you talk about hacks in terms of stress, no? And marami sa atin ang nakaka-experience ng stress. Let me just put up my marami sa atin nakaka-experience ng stress. And oftentimes when you talk about stress, ito ay isang bagay na sometimes verbally natin sinasabi, sometimes din tinatago natin. No, and for us to better understand, if you go Google stress hacks, napakarami. But I will go back to fundamentals to share with you something relevant that you can do as a habit so that it lasts more. No, mas madali siyang ma-retain, mas madali siyang masundan, mas madali siyang magawa. No, and people don't realize, no, where you are right now. Na lalo na yung konsepto pag sinabi mong self-made, no? Sabi nga ni Earl Nightingale, he said that we are all self-made. Meaning, the irony around it is people will talk about self-made pag maganda yung nangyayari. Tama ba ako doon? Can you give me a thumbs up if you agree with that? Na pag sinabi mo yung self-made, we always relate it to something na marami tayong nagawa. Self-made millionaire, self-made success, you know, and all of that experience. And that's good and well. However, at the end of the day, it is also self-made if things are not working for you right now. No? And whether aminin po natin ya't hindi, or whether we blame what circumstances are, situations are, may role po tayo dun sa experience. And I wanted to put that in simply because the first step is always to acknowledge where we are. Lalo na pag pinag-uusapan natin yung stress. No? And a lot of we always relate time when people see us, they will have a tendency to judge kung ano yung result already. However, if you take a look at this picture, people don't know ano yung pinagdaanan mo to get there. Tama ba ako doon? Is this making sense? That sometimes we are judging para mga Filipino, madali tayong mag-judge. What we see out there, parang tip of the iceberg, what we see is what is outside, but the journey behind it is something that we don't know. And yung mga tao na quick to draw takes away from the opportunity to learn from these people who went through several things. No, kaya nga even ngayon, no, we are undergoing mga mental health programs. There's a lot of it being prepared in different industries, in different institutions, simply because it is already now being recognized na importante siyang mapag-usapan. Am I making sense? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're still with me? I want to make sure this next hour and a half is as engaging as we can. Can you give me a thumbs up? So I know nandyan kayo. There you go. There you go. Shout out to Sir Henry and Sir Eric na nandito pa. Sir Sherwin, thank you. No? And coming from that experience then, people don't realize na, okay, sometimes, dahil hindi natural sa atin ang mag-open up, especially about stress, it actually takes a lot of toll sa atin. Kaya napaka-importanting i-recognize. And I'll talk about some of the hints mamaya because with our busy life, lalo kayo, no, mga teachers, in your busy life, no, I recognize na minsan yung trabaho bit-bit hanggang bahay, no, nung pre-pandemic, ganyan talaga yung nangyayari. It's really important to recognize ano ba yung mga major causes of stress right now. And we don't need to go out of the circle anymore because we live in an uncertain time. No? To name a few, you talk about COVID, what's happening right now causes stress. Sickness causes stress right now. Bills, no, yung sa dami ng bills because of what's happening right now. Yung growing old can cause you stress. Relationship can cause you stress. The anxiety of may trabaho pa ba ako can cause you stress. Then a lot of these current uncertainties will take a toll aside from what we're doing right now. No? And I came across a study at nirate nila yung top 5 humanity's biggest problem right now. And the first of which is really depression. No, a lot of people were not ready with what happened, especially with this pandemic. Buti na lang tayo very resilient as Filipinos, no? Kaya pa rin tumawa. But globally, you take a look at what hit us, it allowed a lot of people to go into the space of this depression. Number 1 yan. Number 2 is health issues. No? And this even goes beyond pre-pandemic pa ito. No? With the onset of a lot of instance, nakita natin that health is really taking how we take care of our body takes a toll. No? Third, financial uncertainty. No, in spite and despite of a lot of opportunities to earn a lot, there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of your finances. How do you keep it? How do you manage it? How do you earn it? Kaya ang dami-dami ngayon people are drowning in terms of debt. No, ang daming may utang, ang daming have lost faith already in recovering because of financial uncertainty. Then digital revolution. Yung fast development of the digital space causes a lot of stress for people. No, hindi ko alam kung may mga nakaka-relate diyan na dito, no, na sobrang bilis ng ating development in terms of the digital space. Na parang may natutunan ka pa lang ngayon. Maya-mayang konti, iba na naman yung pinag-uusapan. Can you relate with that? Can you give me a thumbs up or can you type relate kung merong mga ganyan na kaka-intindi mo pa lang ng isang software, kaka-intindi mo pa lang ng isang bagay na system in terms of the digital space. Ito na naman, may iba na naman. No, I can understand kasi lalo na for teachers, tama ba ako dyan, na napakaraming workload na ngayon na kailangang i-digitize. Tama ba? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're agreeing with me and if you're still there? Thank you. Thank you. I want to make sure that this thing that we're talking about is as relevant as to understand what's happening in our current scenario. A lot of organizations right now are sick, no, simply because the times has been changing. There are a lot of disruptors in the industry right now, not just in schools, even in schools. Maraming disruptors, no? They're called disruptors, where they disrupt the system to create an experience or to create products and services that are new. If you take a look at Uber, it has revolutionized the transport system. You take a look at Grab, yung mga Panda, yung Airbnb. These are all disruptors, and some organizations right now hindi makasabay. No, hindi makasabay. Kaya they're still in that space of silos na they keep holding to it, but we need to change with the changing times. And so that being said, maraming manifestation ng stress in an individual or to different people. It normally ends up in three major manifestations, either in your mental stress, your emotional, or even your physical stress. Now, I'd like to just go and share with you what are the common attributes or common signs of stress that maybe we are already blinded of. No? Dahil naging normal ito, we may not be recognizing it anymore, that this is actually already stress signs. No? And I'd like to go over some of the major ones and maybe allow you to reflect on it if this is something that is present or is actually experience in your own personal and professional experience right now. No? Stress signs would include very low energy. Anong ibig sabihin yan? You're always tired. No? Even if work from home, even if marami nagtatrabaho sa bahay, people get burned out. No? And part of the burning out means yung energy mo, yung capacity to sustain the kind of level ng energy mo, hindi na sustain. No? One major, easily detectable that you're already in some form of stress. Upset stomach, yung nagkakaroon ng diarrhea, hindi makakain, or sometimes feeling bloated is one major experience of stress to watch out for. Body aches and pains, yan, minsan kahit nakaupo ka maghapon, naka-Zoom session ka, meron na silang tinatawag ngayon na Zoom fatigue, no? Yung online fatigue na experience natin na kahit at the comforts of your home, nakaharap ka sa monitor, you experience body aches and pains, no, through Zoom fatigue. Sleep problems. Yung mga pagkakataon na gusto mong matulog, pero hindi ka makatulog or kahit pagod ka. Meron bang nakaka-relate dyan? In my experience with a lot of teachers, can you type me kung meron nakaka-relate in terms of sleep challenges na gusto mo magpahinga? Yung time mo to sleep, nakaligo ka na, nakapagtulog ka na, ready ka na to sleep, and yet your mind continues to work and express itself na kahit anong baliktad mo. No, I can see reactions from Donna, from Elizabeth. If that's one of the things, top of mind, if you want to handle that, I want you to research tapping, no? TAPPING. No, ulitin ko yung tapping. Tapping is a methodology called EFT. It's emotional freedom technique, where it allows you to tap certain parts of your body to actually release or receive energy. One of the things that meron tayo kasing mga stress points or key or chi points. And I don't have time to talk about it, but I want you to research on that tapping. When I can't sleep at my mind wanders around, kahit pagod na pagod yung katawan ko, one of the tapping points that I tap is actually this point, no? Yung middle of your eyebrows is a tapping point. It's an energy point that you can tap that will actually ground the mind. So it's a totally different topic. But marami nakaka-relate dyan. And sa atin, minsan kulang yung tulog. No? A lot of sleep problems. What else? No? You have a low immune system. Yung konting puyat, sipon agad. Konting puyat, ubo agad. Or hindi nawawala yung ubo. And some people try to use an escape na, hindi, ano lang yan, allergy. No, you have to take a look at that kasi kung mabilis kang ubuhin at sipunin, you have a very low immune system. loss of sexual desire or ability, no, for partners, for husbands and wife, this is an indicator of stress. Okay, weight problems, no, whether it's an increase in weight or a loss in weight, is something to look out for. And lastly, unstable emotions, no, yung what's interesting, I noted here, no, people who complain are the ones who are often stressed, no? Pero sinabi ko na kanina, no, it's okay, maganda yung complaint because it's a feedback mechanism for us. Magandang mindset yon na we're open to complaints and we welcome it, and I acknowledge, no, the creation of all of this platform to support people, kasi one of the things na lalong nakakainis is yung wala kang way to be able to be heard. No, kaya ang ganda, no, meron tayong online platform, and kudos to those who kila attorney, to the technical team who have actually created a process. The fact na makapag set or schedule ka lang ng appointment to be heard out immediately takes away the power of stress, no? In terms of complaining, unstable emotions, people normally go through a certain process, no? When people experience yung feel that they're short, hindi sila nabigyan ng service na kailangan nila or that they're due of, people go into a process of resentment, sumasamang loob, no? And if this is piled up, they will go into resistance, and resistance may come in many different forms, no? And in Aikido, we tell people that when people are in this two space, no, of resentment and resistance, yung emotions are starting to pile up. And when emotions start to pile up, they will vent. No, maghahanap yan ng opportunity para mailabas yan, no? Parang yung gases yan sa tiyan, di ba? Pagka, excuse my French, no, pag nauutot ka, hindi mo yan mapigilan, no? Am I correct? Sino dito nakaka-experience na niya na minsan nagiging, hindi mo na mamalayan, pero nagiging automatic na mainitin ang ulo mo? Can you give me a thumbs up kung meron mga ganyan dito, or type me if you were honest? I mean, self-reflection lang right now. If you see yourself unstable yung emotion, it's a feedback mechanism na lagi kang galit, lagi kang naiinis, konting kimot lang, nagkakaroon ka ng opportunity to spike yung emotion. Guess what? One of my mentors said that we are, and listen to this, sinabi ng mentor ko, we are never angry for the reason we think we are. Ulitin ko yon. We are never angry for the reason we think we are. Ibig sabihin, may mga underlying reasons sometimes why we are angry, because a lot of this emotion, especially in our culture, we bottle them up. Tinatago kasi ang pananaw natin sa bilang kultura, masamang magpakita ng emosyon. Right? Kaya tayo, pansinin mo, halimbawa may galit, sinasabihan ka, huy, masama yan, masama yan. Pag may pumanaw, sinasabi, huy, huwag ka umiyak, huwag ka umiyak. These are both natural emotions. And when you talk about natural emotions, it has to be expressed responsibly. No? Kaya medyo mali eh. Kaya kailangan tama yung direction is to be able to have an avenue where they can express complaints. They can express their frustration because that's natural. Right? I always say in the seminars, halimbawa, nagda-drive ka, kinat ka, of course, magagalit ka. Kasi you fear for your life, for your safety of yourself or your family or yung mga passengers mo. At that moment, that's valid. Hindi masamang magalit. No? Two things lang ang kailangan mo tingnan nun. What you do with your galit, kung binangga mo siya, or hinabol mo at sinabihan mo siya ng anumang lumabas sa bibig mo, then take responsibility for that. No? But another thing is, at that moment that's valid, pero 4 hours, 5 hours, 2 days na galit ka pa rin dun sa nangyaring yon, that's on you. Ibig sabihin, ayaw mo na pakawalan yung galit. Alright? And so, when you talk about resentment and resistance, these are natural forms of expressions. And I always say that when people are straight, they just really need to be heard. Alright? And so don't turn them away. Part of it is, we're actually, isipin mo lang ganito, you're helping this person vent out steam, vent out stress or negative energy. And this person is not really talking about you. No? Don't take it personal, as they say. No? Because we have the control to allow it to be experienced as you as an individual. You know, and there are many techniques around that. This is not the venue for it, but I'd like to just put that in for people to realize that when people complain, it is not an attack on you. I hope, does that make sense? When people complain, it's not an attack on you. And so you need to be there for that person so that they can actually vent out this steam. When you allow the emotions to affect you, means binuksan mo yung gateway. Now, I'm not saying be distant, na walang emotion. You know, empathy is still a key factor in handling this. I'm sure there's a workshop for that nila attorney Berno. But don't let it in. No, be sensitive, be there, but don't let it in. So, knowing that this is where we are right now, knowing that ito yung mundong ginagalawan natin ngayon, ang tanong is, what now? Anong gagawin natin, Coach Max? How do we actually handle this? Alright? Paano ba natin ito uumpisahan? No? I have a secretary, ang pangalan niya Ar, and reminds me always of something very important in change initiatives. No? If you want to create changes, it has to start from what we call awareness. Can you type awareness, please, dun sa chat box? I want to be able to see. Can you type awareness? Awareness, awareness, awareness. Thank you for those who engage. I really appreciate it. Awareness, awareness. Ano yung awareness? Awareness is kamalayan. Kamalayan about where you are currently. No? And that's the first step. A lot of people are not even aware that they have challenges or they are stressed for that matter. Bakit? Kasi naging normal. Naging normal na to. And the sad news about it is, nagiging routine na ngayon yung buhay because of that. They live a life parang zombie. They wake up, they prepare for work, they work. After work, they're tired, even tapos yung work, pagod na. And then after that, pahinga, tulog, pahinga. Only to repeat it once again. And so the call for us right now is to be aware. Significant responsible actions coming from your awareness right now. Ito yung kicker. If you want to be able to manage stress and create a work balance experience, you need to be able to take responsibility. Now, sino dito nakaka-relate? Sino dito, thumbs up ha, coming from honesty, umamin, itong pandemic na to, nag-gain ka ng weight, thumbs up. Yung totoo lang. Sino dito umamin kayo? During this pandemic, lumaki ka or nag-gain ka ng weight. Is there anyone? If you were honest about it, thank you. There are some, there are few. Maraming ganyan sa atin ngayon. Lumaki. Now, why am I talking about this? Awareness will come from the experience of what? Experience na ikaw ang may responsibility dyan. Alright? And that's such a cliche, pero unless you acknowledge na ikaw yan, medyo mahirap siyang baguhin. Now, how do we relate that to stress? The things that we do that allowed us to be stressed, hindi yan kagagawan ng mga principal, hindi yung kagagawan ng trabaho, but it's really how we react, and I'll say that again, how we react to the experience that that makes the difference whether you're stressed or not. Kung super stressed ka ngayon, medyo mahirap yan tanggapin, but play with me, stay with me, because that's the truth. Nothing happens to us without us being involved in it. And it is a pattern, right? If you take a look at in some of the things times that I've coached people around stress, things pile up, habits lead to certain experience of stress. No, and at the very minimum, how do you guard your program or your mindset to be able to appreciate the current scenario that you're in? Kasi let's face it, tama ba ako to assume, like it or not, stress will always be there? Can you type yes if you agree? Di ba lagi namang nandyan yan eh. Lagi naman nandyan si stress eh. You like it, you know, and it comes from them many different forms. Stress kay misis, kay husband, sa mga anak, sa finance, things are stress. And so, kung meron ba ditong ayaw ng ma-stress, thumbs up. Thumbs up kung ayaw ng stress, no? Kasi meron akong lugar 6 feet under the ground na stress-free, no? Peaceful experience. So, it's part of who we are and our living experience. And so therefore, if you were honest to confront yourself right now, will you accept na, okay, I took part in the creation of this consciousness or this mindset na I'm stressed. At yan, pinrogram mo na yan sa iyong kauluhan. Pinrogram mo na yan sa iyong mindset. Program mo na I'm stressed. The moment sinabi mo yan, a lot of chemicals in your brain, I'll talk about brain chemicals later on, is triggered to manifest actually that thought process. Kasi minsan we are programs, we are people with programs that we are actually not even aware of. And the stress program is a very powerful program, a belief system, or a record that certain conditions, kaya yung body natin does things without actually being able to think about it. And so, knowing that now, no, ano ba yung pwede nating gawin? What are some of the things that we can do? Simple things. Because I'm an advocate of simplicity, being able to allow people to go into an experience of creating habits. No? Marami na tayong mag-aralan, marami tayong workshops na nagawa. How can we fail to do some fundamental things na sinabi natin gagawin natin? No? And this is because nagkulang sa pawa ng structure. Structure affects behavior. All right? Structure affects behavior. Marami experience with structure. Alam niyo yun, umattend ng seminar, nagkaroon ng seminar high. Meron ba nakaka-relate dyan na pagkatapos ng seminar, sabi, woo! Ito na, magbabago na ako. Meron ba naka-attend ng mga ganon? Na after a while, sinabi mo, ito na, this is it. I told myself na magbabago na ako. 2 months later, anong nangyari? How come? Bumalik ka pa rin dun sa dati mong experience. How come? Yung mga panahon na sinabi mong, I'm gonna stop this bad habit of smoking. Totoo na talaga to. No, nakailang New Year's resolution ka na ba? Nakailang pagkakataon ka na sinabi mo, magda-diet na ako. Meron ba naka-experience niyan? Yung weight goal mo up and down? Can you give me a thumbs up kung nakaka-relate ka dyan na mag-goal ka ng papayat ka? So papayat ka nga, na-achieve mo. Nung na-achieve mo na yan, after a while, bumabalik ka na naman doon sa tataba ka ulit. Tapos papayat ka na naman ng gusto mo. Even with finances. No? Mag-iipon na ako. I'm already committed. I have a bigger purpose. Kahit knowing why, alam natin kung bakit. However, the strong link in creating something that's sustainable is actually the structure of creating habits. Research will tell you it will take 21 days to create a habit. I tell people minimum 6 months. Pero the habit that I'm going to share with you, this 7 hacks that I'll share with you, are hacks that are so simple, and yet ang labanan is how consistently can you do it on a day-to-day basis. Are you still with me? Kaya mo ba itong panindigan? And because that's how habits are formed. You take something very simple and apply it daily. And when I say apply it, ang challenge ko nga, I'm coaching a group of people in terms of weight loss. Amen. Wait for 8 minutes a day. You actually do an exercise that we will do a full workout for 8 minutes every day. Pawisan doon, technically is the goal is to create habit out of it so that your mind, your beingness, your body, emotion, and language is aligned to taking care of your body. I don't know if this is making sense. I'll show you what we're doing in that community right now because nakita namin na if you build the habit and do it for 30, 60 days, nai-ingrain in our belief, in our process, the natural way of doing it. And so I'd like to share with you, ano ba itong 7 hacks that will allow us to create better work-life balance. No, and these are not the only truths out there, but these based on my experience along with habit forming has allowed a lot of results in terms of personal experiences. No? And don't be fooled by the simplicity of it, because the next phase is really the habit out of doing it. And so you're feeling stressed right now, and it's manifested in 3 areas, which is our body, our emotion, and our minds. And so this next 7 hacks will allow activities that will actually focus on that. Your mind, your heart, your emotion, and your body. And so let's begin with the first one. No? Gratitude. Gratitude is such an interesting concept because it's free. No, and a lot of people know it already. No, and sometimes this is synonymous to their morning prayers. You know, that when people wake up, they wake up with a smile. A good practice that I tell people, even if you're stressed, the moment you wake up, you smile. Simple, di ba? Simple. I know it's simple, but notice when you smile, there's a chemical in neuroscience, no? There's a chemical that's formed the moment your lips move and smile. Mamaya ipapakita ko kung ano yan. They're part of yung mga happy hormones natin. And so try it out. Even if you're in bed, pag dilat ng mata mo, you smile. Kahit ikaw lang nakakita. And then you start thinking about what you can be grateful for the day. And it doesn't mean sobrang lalim ng pagiging grateful. No, I learned this with my youngest, no. When she was about si Penelope, when she was about 4 or 5 years old, we would ask her to pray. And when she would pray, pagka saying grace, she would say the prayer ng grace before meals. And then she ends up going into thank you for the plato, thank you for the tinidor, thank you for the table, thank you for the chair, until we have to tell her, oh sige, stop na anak, okay na. What was that lesson all about? Gratitude is simply about acknowledging what is. And what is always perfect. If part ng buhay natin, gaya ng sinabi ko, is stress, i-accept natin yon, but we can choose to focus on something that's very significant that can be appreciated. Marami sa atin lose this fact that we are better off versus other people. Natural po sa atin ang mag-compare. It is a normal tendency to compare. And the truth about comparing is this. We always compare ourselves with people who have more than us. Tama ba ako doon? Can you relate with what I'm saying? Can you give me a thumbs up? Na automatic sa atin mag-compare with people na mas malaki o mas maganda ang experience kesa sa atin. Am I correct? Stay with me. Please do engage. Kasi importanteng ma-recognize natin bakit yun ang automatic. Na pag kinumpare mo yung sarili mo with somebody who has more than you, more sexier, more fit, more money, more properties, more, alam mo yun, with better house, better car. If you compare yourself with these people, at ito yung frame of mindset mo dahil automatic siya comparing, anong automatic experience ng emotion mo when you compare in that context? Will you feel good or bad? Please chat it down. Sa totoo lang, kung automatic yun at kinumpare mo, nag-compare ka ng sweldo, nag-compare ka ng antas sa buhay, ng accomplishment mo, automatic. What tends to happen is what? We feel bad about it, and that puts us in a negative spiral of energy going down because you have set the tone na less than ka. Sabi nga ni Francis Magalona, hindi ko alam, the late Francis Magalona in one of his songs, no? Sabi niya, iwasan mo ang inggit. Ang ibig mong makamit. Dapat na ikay matuwa sa napala ng iyong kapatid. Hindi ba ang gandang message nun? But we choose to see the lesser awareness side of bakit siya mas maganda kesa sa akin. Here's a tip. We talk about gratitude. Compare yourself with people who have less than you. Does that make sense? Please type yes if that makes sense. Kasi pag kinumpare mo yung sarili mo, people who have less than what you have, the tendency is you will see gratitude. You will see you're better off. I can't stress that enough. Na-stress ka sa trabaho. Huwag mo tingnan yun. Tingnan mo, may trabaho ka sa panahon ngayon na maraming tao natatanggal sa trabaho. Hindi alam kung saan kukunin ang next na panggastos sa bahay na layoff. Does that make sense? I hope I wanted to drum that in because gratitude means compare mo yung sarili mo dun sa kung ang tingin mo bahay mo ganito lang, tingnan mo yung mga tao walang bahay na nakatira sa ilalim ng tulay. Kung ang sasakyan mo second hand, wag mo yung tingnan mo yung pumipila sa hirap mag-commute ngayon. Nakatagal-tagal maghintay ng pila, makauwi lang ng bahay. Kung titignan mo, bakit sila masasarap lagi ang pagkain? Kung kumakain ka ng 3 times a day, may pamerienda pa, guess what? You're better off than the people na naghihintay dun sa daan. Maabunan lang ng konting tinapay, konting pagkain. Or worst, maghihintay sa tabi ng mga restaurant kasi yung mga tinapon na pagkain, lulutuin nila para yun yung pagkain nila. Is this making sense? We are lucky. God, I hope you don't mind me mentioning the word God. This is not about religion. This is simply about believing in a greater picture, in a greater consciousness. Iba-iba lang tawag natin sa Kanya. We are still better off. Maniwala kayo. So that's the first thing. Gratitude. Wake up in the morning and just be thankful for everything. Thank you sa unan. Thank you kung naka-aircon ka. Thank you kung maganda kama mo. Thank you kung naka-condo ka o may sarili kang bahay ngayon. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. And that frame of mind, and if you do it in the morning, will set the tone kung anong meron. Then what? Self-love. Stressed. Simply because they have forgotten to take care of themselves. Ako din, ang dami kong trabaho, ang dami kong negosyo, ang dami kong ginagawa. But I have to schedule a time to love myself. And to me, that's the exercise routine na ginagawa namin mag-asawa every night. It becomes our couple ritual to do exercise every night. Self-love. Nakakalimutan na natin yan. And when you talk about self-love, is this one of which is this thing called positive self-talk. Kamusta ang thoughts mo every day? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Or how do you talk to yourself? Yun totoo lang. Pag humarap ka sa salamin, sino na naka-experience nito? Humarap ka sa salamin, bagong ligo ka, no? Tapos sabi mo sa salamin, ang sexy-sexy ko talaga. Ang ganda-ganda ko talaga. Ang gwapo-gwapo ko talaga. Tapos parang may boss sa likod ng ulo mo, may konsensya. Sino nakaka-relate dyan? Tapos sinasabi ng konsensya, hindi naman. That's your self-talk. That's your fundamental identity talking to you. What does it say? Sinasabi niya ba that you're great? Sinasabi ba ng sarili mo automatic na you did good? Or ang consciousness mo is that of bordering to the negative things that you automatically see in life? I want you to reflect on that kasi ano ba yung conversation in your mind? Kasi kung hindi yan automatic, born out of positive, I need you to be conscious about it. The last person who should put you down is you. Paano, Coach Max, kung wala naman pumapansin sa akin, hindi pansinin mo yung sarili mo. Tell yourself, I did great today. Di ba parang siraulo ako nun, Coach Max? It doesn't matter. What matters is how you now reinvent your consciousness by doing reprogramming in your mind. If you're fond of listening to audiobooks, please make sure you have Spotify and look for motivational audiobook. Why? Kasi it reinvents the way we think. Kasi hindi tayo conscious na ganyan when we were growing up. Self-talk. Don't mind what other people will say. You don't literally have to speak it out. But your story na sinasabi mo sa utak mo is something that I want to refer and go into. You will see things either you're a victim or you're responsible. That's the thought process. Yung isang bagay nangyayari, i-interpret ko yan. Itong nangyayari ba sa akin, am I a victim to it? Or I can take responsibility. That self-talk will help you there. Kasi kung binigyan ka ng isang load, dagdag load dun sa normal. Binigyan ka ni Sir Eric, for example, ni Sir Henry. Oh, ito, gawin mo ito. Pwede mong tingnan yan as what? Victim ka na. Ito naman si Sir, bakit ako? Ako na naman. Ako na naman. Where you will start developing negative energy around it or versus, uy, may tiwala siya sa akin na kaya kong gawin ito. And I will see it now as a challenge. How to squeeze this in. It's a whole total different kind of self-talk. Part of self-love is also about taking care of yourself. Alam naman natin we should. Meron bang guilty dyan na alam mo yung dapat kainin? Sino nag-agree dito? Can you give me a thumbs up? Alam mo yung dapat kainin, pero ang nangyayari, kung ano yung mas masarap at maybe hindi healthy, Yun ang ginagawa mo, yung kinakain natin. No? Lahat tayo guilty dyan. Ang question is, how can you further control yourself? The goal is not to eliminate it. The goal is, tikman mo, but do not overindulge. No? Wag mong deprive yung sarili mo from eating the food that you want, but do not overindulge. Alam ko, cliche yan, but it's really the habit of doing it that will strengthen your mind muscle to choose what is right over what is tempting. And part of self-love is what? To be able to look at it from a point of view na, do I still get to exercise? Do I get to still experience myself creating or moving my body, not because naglakad ako sa stairs kasi kailangan ko maglakad ng stairs, but because yung mind ko, it's about taking that initiative for me to be able to create some sort of physical activity for myself. Like I said kanina, no, the goal is to be able to create habits. Ito yung challenge ko sa inyo in terms of exercise. Can you exercise and give yourself and love yourself, 8 minutes a day. 8 minutes a day na iaalat mo lang for yourself, iaalat mo lang for your effort to exercise. 8 minutes is not much. I tell you, no? And don't if this is the first time that you're doing it, don't do it na super strenuous. Start with something basic. It doesn't matter kung stretching lang yan or hindi. Because believe me, when you start ingraining it into the experience, this is a community that I have right now. And the way that we monitor each other is we listen through audiobooks. And in the community that I'm coaching, I ask them to post 8 minutes lang a day. Doesn't matter what activity it is. Can you do it 8 minutes a day within the next 30 days? Alam nyo, makikita nyo yung change in about the second week, third week. People started losing weight. People started feeling better. In 2 simple tasks, we call it 8 to Great. Every day, 8 minutes, you listen to a positive audiobook. Second, every day, non-negotiable, what do? You exercise. 8 minutes lang ang hiling ko. Coach, hindi naman ako papawisan dyan. It doesn't matter. As long as you can do it, 8 minutes a day for the next 30 days. Anong significant result ang nangyari dito? In about 3 weeks, 21 days, people started losing weight. Nagugulat sila. Sabi nila, Coach Max, hindi man ako pinagpawisan. 3 weeks down the road, I lost 2 kilos, 8 pounds. Why? It was never the intent to lose it, but to enjoy the experience of actually exercising. Is this making sense? Now, when I share this from a context na, of course, take responsibility. Set health goals. Now, whether it's eating right, stopping a habit, gaining weight, losing weight, having more sleep, bahala ka. You owe it to yourself. Next, 7 lang naman ito, clearing. Clearing is a very powerful stress reliever. My Aikido sensei, sabi niya, if you clear your space, you clear your mind. If you clear your space, you clear your mind. Marami sa atin have a lot of cluttered things around us. Sinong nakaka-relate dyan? Tingnan mo kung nasaan ka nakaupo ngayon if you're at home. Tingnan mo, makalat ba yung table mo ngayon? Yung workspace mo ngayon? Kung hindi, then great job. Tingnan mo yung bahay. Is it cluttered? Marami bang bagay dyan na you can let go of already? Stay with me. Sino dito? O umamin ha? Sino dito? Yung mga meron pang pantulog na butas-butas na bacon na yung garter, pero ginagamit pa rin. Sino nakaka-relate dyan? Thumbs up. Umamin kayo. Opportunity to be honest. Kung nakaka-relate ka dyan, let that go. Hindi ko sinasabing bumili ng mga branded items, no. The goal is to clear the space. Tingnan mo yung iyong closet. Ano dyan yung mga pinaglumaan mo na 6 months, 1 year mo nang hindi ginagamit pero nandyan pa. Clear the space. Because you'll be surprised as you start clearing it, the mind, the consciousness becomes clear as well. Start clearing spaces. Sabi nga ng mentor ko, if you create the space, new opportunities will come in, new experiences will come in. And that's very significant in terms of how we move from a stressful life to a stress-free living. Tingnan mo lang, simple things. Ano ba yung hindi ko na kailangan? Na I continue to hold out kasi iniisip ko baka in the future kailangan ko siya. The art is what? The challenge is to not to be attached. Letting go. Kung 6 months mo na yung hindi tinignan, ginagamit, let it go. Kung kailangan mong kunan ng picture, kunan mo ng picture. And that's physical clearing. What also tends to help in terms of stress management is what? To be able to clear not just your physical things, but also your emotional things. And I want you to take a picture of this slide, no? Because I want you to clear your bags. This will be more emotional. No? Ano yung bags? Bags are an acronym for what? Ano yung B? Blame. I-let go mo na yung blame na yan. Now, blaming means not taking responsibility. Ibinibigay mo yung blame sa iba, ipinapasa mo yung responsibility sa iba kasi you feel that there's something that should have been done better. Sabihin na natin, yes. But the fact that you continue to blame people takes away from you being responsible. Ang masama dito, like in the seminars that we've had with our Mandaluyong before, no? Marami, bit-bit pa hanggang yung blame nila sa parents, blame nila sa situation, etc. na ilang taon ka na ba ngayon, bit-bit mo pa yan. A, unnecessary anger. Gaya na sinabi ko, kung nagalit ka ngayon, fine. Pero kung bit-bit mo pa yan, 4 hours later, 2 days later, 2 months later, ikaw na yan. I love it, no? In one of our sessions in Mandaluyong, no? When two people who are friends had a falling apart and were reconvened and allowed themselves to patch up again, putting away anger. Such a beautiful experience. G is for what? Guilt. Minsan marami tayong guilt, no, na dinadala. One often for mga teachers, because I've been doing a lot of work with teachers, one often guilt na bit-bit ng teachers dahil sa dami ng trabaho, minsan napapabayaan yung pamilya. Kaya pag nag-request, kahit wala sa budget, pagbibigyan. Can you relate? Kasi na-requestan na, bili naman tayo ng ganito. Dahil minsan na feeling guilty ka, kahit wala sa budget, bahala na si Batman, pagbibigyan. Meron bang nakaka-relate dyan? Why? Kasi we compensate because of guilt. We compensate because of what? Our lack of capacity to manage things. So let that go. Pakawalan mo yung guilt and shame. Yung feeling mo na you're less than other people. Now, ano naman yung DJEBs, no? Parang pupo. Ano yung JEBs, no? You wanna be more responsible to be stress-free? 1. D is for what? Take away your drama. No? Nakukuha natin, kakapanood natin yan ng Korean teleserye. No? Don't magnify what is stressful. Don't even talk anymore. All right? Next, J, stop judging people. At worst, you judge yourself. Hindi ko to kaya, hindi ko yan gusto, hindi ko yan afford. Stop making excuses. No, yan yung letter E. Stop making excuses and start taking responsibility. And yung BS is, excuse my French, stop your bullshit or your negative belief system. Hindi yan nakakatulong. So we need to start letting these things go already. Can you give me a thumbs up if you're learning? I wanted to get a feedback if all of these things so far is making sense for you. Nakakatulong ba ito? Is this feel will be of value as you continue? Thank you. For those of you na alam ko, you're listening kasi may klase, I still honor you. But I just wanted to make sure that I get that feedback loop so I know we're still on the right path. Next, number 4, meditation. Meditation in my years of coaching has allowed me to very quickly shift people from a highly stressful environment to still be in a highly stressful environment minus the stress. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi ko sila kinoach to get them out of the place where they're at. I actually got them out into the consciousness of what they feel or think they're experiencing. Now, maraming takot sa meditation. And there are many kinds. No? But meditation in itself has a lot of huge benefit. You don't need to immediately start na kailangan 30 minutes ka, 1 hour ka. No. I go back to 8 to great. Can you sit down or lie down and just breathe for 8 minutes without thinking of anything every day? Now, if you're starting in this concept of meditation, marami sa YouTube, marami sa Spotify ang guided meditation. Ang suggestion ko, you start with that. We all have 50,000 thoughts in our mind every day. Imagine mo yan, 50,000 lang pumapasok na kamalayan na pumapasok sa atin every day. Ang hirap niyan i-manage. So, yung fear ng maraming tao in terms of meditation is what? Na pagka nag-start sila, they close their eyes, they quiet their mind, ang daming nag-uusap dun sa mind. Okay lang yun. Lalo na if you're starting. So don't make that as an excuse. You just recognize it. Yes, okay. I go back now to my breathing. Inhale and exhale. Ganun lang. 8 minutes a day. You will notice as you build your mental mind on this, you will see an increase in self-awareness. You will now recognize how you're transitioning from maybe a more negative conscious experience or positive one. It helps you now become more focused until you start enjoying it. Kung hindi kaya 8 minutes, 5 minutes lang. Try it out for the next 30 days. Ako, I recommend it the moment you wake up. After mo magpasalamat, you plug in your earphones, you listen to a grounding music. One of my favorite is yung Tibetan bowl na yun pakinggan mo. The silence of that for the next 5 minutes or 8 minutes. Commit to it for the next 30 days and let me know if it worked for you. Because a lot of my students have moved from 5 minutes to now 30 to an hour a day. All right? Lalo na for you guys, mga teachers. I know how busy you are. But you owe it to yourself to love yourself 8 minutes a day in terms of meditation. You don't even have to do this lying down. In some of the corporate people that I've coached during lunch break, as kumain, instead matulog, they plug in their earphones 8 minutes a day during break time. Then you can sleep if you want. I know maraming may mga habit na ganyan. Take a picture of this. In YouTube, this is what I found to be most, yung kanyang YouTube is the most easiest to understand from a zero-based person who want to go into meditation. Take a picture of this link in your camera or in your laptops kasi tingnan mo yung kanyang introduction to meditation. Something very, very interesting as an intro. Number 5. Like I said kanina, stress and failure, which are some of the causes of major stress in individuals in the corporate world, professional world, is a natural experience. Huwag na po nating i-deny yan. Part of the consciousness is meron lagi. But in fact, alam nyo, yung stress and relaxation goes hand in hand. Ganun natin mas masarap experiencing yung relaxation coming from an experience of stress. Kaya may mga therapy, yun yung inuuna nila. What areas are stressed so that you can experience release work from it. Now, stress and failure goes hand in hand. I'd like to just share how overcoming it can lead you physically, emotionally, and mentally from moving from one point to another. The story of Heidelin Diaz, which I really admire, started in 2008 when she joined the Olympics. Second to the last shot during that time. Very stressful, but went again. Sige na nga, could have stayed in comfort zone. Pero niya, sige, right again. 2020, hindi na nakatapos. Allowed herself to be in what? In the danger zone. So dati comfort zone, lumaban ulit, danger zone. Nag-fail ulit. Actually, pwede na mag-stop eh. Di ba? Twice na ako nag-compete. National athlete naman ako. Pwede na. No, at the end of the day, na-represent ko yung country natin. Pero hindi siya tumigil doon. Embrace failure, embrace stressful experiences. 2016 finished silver. She started going into effective zone. Ano ibig sabihin nun? She was already able to train not just her body because that's her sport, but also her mind to just continue to move forward despite and in spite of. Then she became effective. Comfort zone, danger zone, effective zone. Did she stop there? Pwede na eh. Like si Onyok, di ba? Okay na, silver na, pwede na, karangalan. And as we all know what? Before the Tokyo Olympics, faced more challenges. Faced more stress, walang budget. Na-involved pa sa involved in some issues. Had to train outside the country kahit walang budget. Stressful, yes. Ended up what? Into the last zone, which is your winning zone. Now, what does that mean? It simply means that if you want to continue to progress, you have to move forward. Hindi pwedeng nandun ka lang. And then again, like sinabi ko, things from a victim point of view or a responsible point of view. She took the responsible point of view. That path allowed her to be in her space right now. Last 2. When I talk about stress management, when I talk about work-life balance, normally, ang nawawala is the passion to do things. Kaya napaka-importante to go back to why you're doing things. Kasi do you agree with me na minsan, kahit mahirap ang ginagawa, pero pag love mo siya, gusto mo siya kahit mahirap, kahit challenging. Do you agree with me? Kahit mahirap, challenging, but if you're passionate about it, gagawin mo siya. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can relate to that? Na pag love mo yung ginagawa mo, regardless whether it's hard or not, gagawin mo siya. And I'm talking about now, looking at what you're doing as passion. Not just an end to a meet or a meeting to an end. Ibig sabihin, gawin mo siya because love mo to. Na marami kasi sa atin nagta-transition, nakalimutan yung passion. Bakit ba ako nag-teacher? Bakit ba ako nag-professor? Bakit ba ako nandito sa industry na to? If you reflect back, pilitan ka lang. Teacher parang fall back as if hindi siya career. Pero kahit napilitan ka lang noon, at nandito ka pa hanggang ngayon, there's something that you loved about it. Am I making sense? May minahal ka na eh. And maybe you have to go back. You have to go back to that space where, can you still hear me? There you go. Maybe you have to go back to that space na passion ko ba ito talaga? Am I doing this because I love doing this? Maybe you need to go back. There's this book by these two authors, no, si Hector Garcia and si Frances Miralles. It's called Ikigai. If you have a chance to buy this book, buy this book. These two writers started learning about this concept that they created called Ikigai. It's a Japanese term. Iki means live, gai means reason. So Ikigai is the purpose or reason for being, the purpose for living. Alam mo ba yung purpose mo, bakit ka nandito? And they studied it through the concept of a Japanese culture based in Okinawa. Because sa Okinawa, nakita nila yung pinakamaraming taong matanda, over 100 years old, are there. And marami sa kanila has lived a long life because they have found their purpose of living their ikigai. Now, ang ganda ng concept niya kasi sabi niya, you look into, number one, you look at what you love. And you look at what you're good at. No, ano bang gusto kong ginagawa? Ano bang happy akong ginagawa? It doesn't matter what that is. Make a list. Then tingnan mo, ano ba yung magaling ako? Saan ba ako magaling? Magaling ba ako magsalita? Public speaking, research? Magaling ba ako mag-handle ng tao? Magaling ba ako mag-lead? Magaling ba ako sumunod? Magaling ba ako? Saan ka magaling? Then maybe you look at, ano bang kailangan ng mundo ngayon? What is emerging for me? And what can I be paid for? This whole model allowed them to see that there's certain areas of meeting that will help identify what your passion is, what your mission in life is, what your vocation is, or maybe what your profession is. And I talk about this because passion is an immediate experience that we all want to go into. Kasi ang pumapatay ng passion, ladies and gentlemen, is what? The fact that we do things on a routinary level. I'm sure nung bago ka, when you were starting, di ka naman na-late as a teacher eh. Tama ba ako doon? When you were new at gusto mo talaga maging teacher, were you late on your first day? Di ba hindi naman? Late ka rin ba umuwi on your first day? Oo, kasi you wanted to be of more service. In fact, nung ini-interview ka, excited ka. First week mo sa school, hindi ka na late. Laging ahead ang lesson plan mo. Eh, ba't ngayon lesson plan, pahirapan pag pinasubmit? Maybe naging routine. Nawala yung passion, nawala yung excitement. You know? And because of that, we started spiraling down. No? Ano ba yung, you know, this solution means what? Go back to what you love and what you're good at. And if teaching is one of those, then go do it, rekindle it. Now, Coach Max, what if okay lang ako dito, but I have other passions like songwriting, vlogging, TikToking? Then by all means do it. You know, bakit? Kasi it's in these breaks that you allow energy to reinvigorate you. Ulitin ko yun ha. It is in these breaks, doing your passion, that allows you to reinvigorate your energy. Whatever passion that means for you is. Some people, they love to read books. And go ahead. Once, twice, 3 times a week, do it. Coach Max, pwede bang passion shopping like my wife? Of course! Just be responsible sa paggastos. But, whatever it is, you do it. Kung ang passion mo, basketball, I'll tell you, once a week, play basketball. Coach Max, ang passion ko is gumawa ng TikTok. By all means, do it once at least a week. Coach Max, ang passion ko is to explore new restaurants and try new foods. Go ahead. I don't mind if your passion is cross-stitching. If that's your passion. If your passion is drawing, painting, creating poems, talking to people, coaching people, go do it. Ilagay mo yan sa routine mo. Huwag mong i-deny. Kasi yan ang magpapatibay at magre-reinvigorate sa'yo. Sabi ni Eric, drinking, pwede po? Pwede. But beyond drinking is the conversation that you have. Di ba? Drinking naman doesn't mean magpapakalasing eh. But it can also mean you have a social experience with people. Lalo na ngayon, Sir Eric, kung di ko alam kung na-experience yun na yung inuman. A lot of companies are doing that right now. I know a lot of initiatives. Inuman. Zoom session sila, may kanya-kanya silang drink. You know, whatever your passion is, go back to it. Yan si Sir Eric, isa sa alam kong passion yan, mag-TikTok. Tuwang-tuwa ako sa TikTok mo, sir. Grabe. I'm so inspired kasi may TikTok account ako, but I have never posted. Di ba ang galing? May pa-iba-ibang costume pa, yung moves niya. Sabi ko, wow! Is that amazing, amazing opportunity to just, drop everything and do what you love? Being able to explore? Wow! I mean, talk about revitalize energy mo. What if anong passion mo? Sports, badminton, cooking, for example. I know somebody, passion niya cooking, goes to experiment every month. Experiment, will cook for the family, experiment. Imagine that. Go back to your passion. Rekindle it. The way to go back to it is what? What you love and what you're good at. That link, itong opportunity that this crossed, itong dalawang circle na to, means you're into your passion. Go back to it. Number 7, you are not alone. You are not alone. Anong ibig ko sabihin? Whether you're stressed, you're depressed, you have anxiety, you feel down, you feel neglected, you feel unappreciated, you're never alone. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? You have your family with you. Kung hindi ka married, you're not a couple, you still have family with you. Kung wala pa rin, you have friends with you. Hindi ka nag-iisa. Kung wala pa rin, kung may pet ka, may pet ka. Talk to them. Mental issues are magnified if you keep everything to yourself. Kaya nga maganda you attend workshops and programs like this simply because it will allow you now to just allow yourself to be open and not be judged and not judge people that they will think less of you. When you involve your family, ako, in my own experience, we have couple rituals. Alam mo yun? We run together, we yoga together, we do funny moments together. Kami ng wife ko, we do adventures together. Ikaw, what can you do? Maybe you can have a new relationship goal. Spend more time with family, with parents. Prepare creative gifts, hindi kailangan bumili. Or maybe mend relationships. Talk about forgiveness. Or maybe start it off by saying affirmations to yourself, to your loved ones. You are never alone. Please do not, and I say this, coming from the month of mental awareness, but you're never alone. And for others who are in a better and good space, sensitive. Kasi mararamdaman mo if you have friends, mararamdaman mo kung if they're in a good space or not. Kung hindi sila in a good space, reach out. Alam mo yung isang tanong, napakahalaga. And I want you to write this down. Ano itong importanteng tanong na ito? The question na, kamusta? Kamusta ka? You know, makikita mo minsan nagbe-vent out, walang makausap. Ano makikita mo? Nagpo-post sila ng sad picture, giving up quotes. Patuhan mo kagad ng isang magandang tanong, kamusta ka? And start engaging if you're in a good space. No, just to close this, all of these activities are designed to create and to create a stimulus to trigger chemicals in your brain. On a scientific note, we have neurotransmitters in our brain that are electrically charged when we do certain things, both in our body, emotion, and language. If these three are triggered, the cause in the mind triggers certain stimuli that actually allows the creation of chemicals in the brain that's transmitted. And this transmission of happy chemicals allows us to experience life differently. These are your 4 fundamental happy chemicals. You have your serotonin, your dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphin. Kung wala yan, kulang, you will experience a lot of stability in your life. Kung wala kang serotonin, low self-esteem, overly sensitive ka, pag wala kang endorphin, pwede kang prone ka to anxiety attacks, mood swings. Alam mo yun? When you look at all these chemicals on a scientific note, ito yung nararamdaman mo, kaya you feel now, quote-unquote, you're stressed. But if you trigger them through targeted activities, you can now hack them and create so much chemical change, it will allow your body now to move and act differently. It will allow now your emotion to shift from negative to positive. But the goal is consistency. The goal consistent. You allow to targeted activities like with this will trigger this experience so that your everyday life now becomes more what? Livable. And hopefully, hindi lang siya livable, but hopefully you can thrive anywhere it is. I just forget his name. No? There's this World War veteran. When they were in the Nazi camp, mga POW sila, no? Prisoners of war. There were very few of them who survived the Nazi camp. One of them, I forgot the name. I'll post it and share with Kila Attorney Byrne to be posted. It's in my note. The difference why he survived was what? Thinking that one, buhay pa siya, and two, hindi siya nag-iisa. And it's that consciousness that allowed him to really survive the conditions that he has and allowed him to survive it and go back to his family when the war was over. So I hope this 7 hacks will allow you to transition. I hope you learned a lot from the session today. If you found value, I'd like to request if you could follow me on my social media. Take a picture of this. You can just tweet me, chat me. If you have questions, I'm always online. I can give you support. I can coach you if there's a need to, and support your growth because the organization, especially in Mandaluyong, is something very close to my heart. And I love always working with you guys, no? Sila Ma'am Aline, sila Sir Sherwin, sila Ma'am Rowella, and the rest, sila Sir Henry, sila Sir Eric, and the rest of the leaders who continue to provide programs like this for you, no? And I hope I was able to impact you in a certain way. And ang challenge ko, 30 days lang po of 8 minutes a day. Exercise, audiobook, and what? Loving yourself. I turn it back now to Attorney Bern. Kung I think may time pa tayo for a few questions. Attorney, I turn the Zoom floor back to you. Or kay Sir Anthony. Sir Anthony, naka-mute pa po kayo.
Ayan, pwede na. O, kasi kanina prohibited yata ng co-host yung pag-unmute. Thank you so much, Sir Max, Coach Max, Maximo Salvador S. Salazar. And I know sa ating mga kasamahan, no, puno ang inyong plato while listening to the almost 2-hour talk of Coach Max. At dahil puno ang inyong plato, syempre pipiliin ninyo ang inyong ichuchu at siyang makakatulong, no? And we will be susubukan kong i-commit yung 8 minutes ko a day para doon sa mga sinabi ni Sir Coach Max na mga tips paano ba mawala ang stress at kung paano rin makatulong sa pagpayat. Ayan. Sir Coach Max, actually po, gusto rin nating i-acknowledge dito sina Ma'am Elalyn A. Abutal, principal ng Plainview Elementary School, Mrs. Elvira R. Canilao ng Mandaluyong Elementary School, Dr. Erwin A. Salazar ng Mandaluyong High School, Mr. Roberto Piredubante ng Isaac Lopez Integrated School, at nakita ko rin ang iba nating school heads na nasa inyong nasa ating YouTube nanonood. Nakita ko doon si Dr. Efren S. Conserino ng Highway Hills Integrated School, Miss Rosie Casono ng Doña Basilisa Yanco Elementary School, Mrs. Lucia M. Liego ng Pleasant Hills Elementary School. Sino pa ba? May mga nakita pa ako dito eh. And ayun, ganun din, kasama din natin si Mr. Ramon M. Bilardo Jr., Education Program Supervisor, Dr. Jean B. Castrense, Mrs. Marife V. Arias, Miss Myla Ramirez, Miss Shirley Cesbreño, at may mga kasama rin po tayo mga head teacher mula sa ating secondary schools and master teachers and some teaching and non-teaching personnel sa ating league. I-share ko lang, Sir Max, yung isang comment ng ating teacher audience, no? Sabi ni Sir Jun Balauro, 2 things will happen if I compare myself to others. I will become vain or bitter. At sabi naman, from 11 Pebrero yata si Sir Jun Balauro, meron din pa isa pang comment dito si Ma'am. Yung iba yata nahiyang mag-comment, nagigit sila. Pero sabi ni Ma'am Jennifer Tenaha, from comfort zone to winning zone, let's do it. Ayan. So, I believe the Sir Max, they can view the recorded version of this session. And again, iniimbitahan po natin ang lahat, no? Iniimbitahan po natin ang lahat na mag-subscribe sa YouTube channel ni Coach Max, ang I Am Coach Max Salazar. At nakita ko kanina, marami na siyang mga videos na nandoon at baka naman pwede nating dalawin at lahat yun ay tungkol sa atin, no? Tungkol sa pagiging individual at paano maging katrabaho, paano maging kaibigan, paano maging miyembro ng pamilya. Ayan, so maraming salamat po, and our group chat is our chat box is open for questions. Ayan, at sige po, mag-entertain po tayo ng first 5 questions po. Ayan, sabi ni Attorney Abirin, super helpful, Coach Max. Love yourself is the key. Ayan, so para hindi na po mag-iiyakin si Attorney. Ayan, and sabi ni Ms. Francisco, you always inspire people's Coach Max. Ayan, kasi syempre tayo nakakabasa rito sa ating chat box, ano. Pinapaalam natin para mas ma-encourage po ang ating mga kasamahan na mag-subscribe ng inyong YouTube channel, kasi I know marami po kayong mga topics na nakalinya dito sa inyong YouTube channel. Ayan, ano ba? Sige po. Sabi ni Sir Sherwin, Coach Max, it's always fun and exciting when you are around the way it used to be. Ay, lakas maka Sunday feels ni Sir Sherwin. Ayan. Okay. So, magtatanong na po tayo. Magtatanong na po. Sige po. Sige, tanong-tanong. Gaya kung nahiya kayo magtanong dito, sabi ni Coach Max kanina, you can send him a private message po at sa kanyang Facebook account. Ayan, at pwede rin kayo mag-comment siguro doon sa chat box, sa comment box po sa ating YouTube channel, sa kanyang YouTube channel para po makita niya po ang inyong mga tanong. So going once, going twice, going thrice. So I think and I believe po yung inyong almost 2-hour talk, Coach Max, ay nakapag-inspire sa kanila and magkakaroon sila ng reflection. I think sa tingin ko lamang, ewan ko sa kanila kung yun ang kanilang nararamdaman kung magre-reflect nga. Ayan, so Attorney, I know we have prepared a simple certificate of recognition for our speaker this morning. Ayan. So, let me read the citation. Republika ng Pilipinas, Kagawaran ng Edukasyon, National Capital Region, Schools Division Office, Mandaluyong City, Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is presented to Maximo Salvador S. Salazar for his invaluable expertise as resource speaker in the session titled Talk on Stress Hacks for Better Work-Life Living as part of the Lex Consensya, Legal ang Illegal, sa three-day virtual engagement on the Division Program on Complaint Prevention Phase 1, held from November 9 to 11, 2011 via Division official YouTube channel, and given at the Schools Division Office of Mandaluyong City on November 9, 2021, signed Romela M. Cruz, Sese, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Officer in Charge Office of the Schools Division Superintendent. May we invite Dr. Romela M. Cruz po para po magbigay din po ng simple words of appreciation sa ating speaker, kay Coach Max. Napakahigpit naman nung isa sa mga host natin. Talagang ina-unmute ako kahit hindi pa ako tapos magsalita. O ayan. Sige, Sir JD, can we have a one frame na nandun yung certificate at syempre yung mukha ni ni Coach Max? Do I need to turn my camera off para po sa kanya ang spot? Ayan. Ayan, nandito na si Ma'am Emma pala. Si Ma'am Emma pala kanina, Ma'am Emma. Pwede po ba tayong pwede po ba kayong makahingi ng konting words of appreciation po para po sa ating coach, Coach Max? Ano na ba? May nag-message na ba? Ayan, baka hindi pa tapos yung kanilang field work. Okay, so by the way po, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Max. At looking forward po no na makasama pa namin kayo sa marami pang sessions, and we will make sure na mas marami pong mga DepEd Mandaluyong teaching and non-teaching personnel na makapag-witness po at makarinig ng inyong magagandang discussion po sa ating future activities sa DepEd Mandaluyong. So once again, mga kasama, Coach Maximo Salvador S. Salazar on the topic stress hacks for better work-life living. This is a guide for our 3-day training or webinar on complaint prevention as part of the advocacy of DepEd Mandaluyong City. Ayan, so maraming salamat po. And this time, I think we are going to end our day 1 session dito sa ating, di ko talaga mapigkas pa eh, Lex Consensya. And see you tomorrow. Mapapanood nyo po ulit tayo, no? Mapapanood ulit tayo sa DepEd Mandaluyong City official YouTube channel. Kaya po doon naman po ay ipapakita ang proseso. Magkakaroon pa ng pagpapakita ng proseso po ng pag-seek ng legal services via online sa DepEd Mandaluyong City, and at the same time ay kung paano po i-manage ang ano ba yung topic ng day 2? Ng grievance and mediation. So invited po ang lahat ulit bukas to join us. So with that, happy lunch everyone, and thank you so much po. Keep safe and be healthy. Let's practice the 8-minute a day for 30 days na advice po sa atin ni Coach Max. Magandang umaga po at magandang tanghali na sa lahat.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you po, Coach. See you everyone po tomorrow. We will discuss grievance. Thank you.